Hey there, good morning. I'm John. Today is Wednesday, June 5th, 2024. This is my daily vlog, my regular ritual stand-up where I get on camera each morning and talk about what I've been doing, what I'm doing next, and how it's going, and trying to make content creation indefinitely sustainable. So let's get started talking about yesterday, which was Tuesday. The day began as, you know, if you've been here more than a week or so, every Tuesday is podcast editing day over on Twitch. Incredibly well attended and very engaged. Maybe the most for look, it's a productivity stream, and I'm happy to get 5 or 6 people to show up. Over the course of that, I think my report said there were 29 individuals came over, so almost 30 of you popped in. Some hung out the entire episode, some, ducked in to say hello, to renew that Prime sub, all that stuff. Thank you for all of that. Inscrutable Owl was even there and donated subs to other followers. It was productive in that there was benefits, some subscriptions and things like that, but also a lot of fun. The entire episode, it was a debate episode, very different kind of edit. Not only did we finish the edit, we did the graphic artwork for it, uploaded it, tagged it, we did all that stuff. And so during that live stream, it went from raw to scheduled to publish on Thursday, tomorrow morning. So I had a fantastic time, 2.5 hours of work that just flew by and got it done. So if you were there, thank you. If you haven't been to one, check it out sometime. It sounds like watching paint dry, but it's actually a good time. It's because of the company. That's why. So I mentioned that the embargo lifted on those new Atari products that are shipping later this month. I got that video out yesterday. I published it at 11 a.m. And it did very well. Just overnight, it's done nearly 7,000 views. So tremendous. That's the upper end of our averages. It's doing very well. I think it's like number 3 out of the last 10. I mention that always because there's a metric of how your last 10 have performed on the same timeline track, and this one's 3rd place of the last 10 videos. In the afternoon after lunch, I also went ahead and cut another episode of Celebrating Yesteryear. I'm trying to get ahead of the game because I know convention season is coming, and it's cut into my free time, and I want to make sure I keep the chamber loaded for the editor. So the fellow who writes those for us, he's got several ahead of me, and I'm like, all right, I'm trying to catch up. I want to keep up. That way, when convention season comes, if I slip a week, nothing is lost, and I haven't inconvenienced anyone. So kept doing that. Also, finally in the afternoon, I chose the next Friday plays. I did the thumbnail for it. I began a little bit of reading. I always like to read the full manual, stuff like that. So, and then, I'll do, over the next couple of days, I'll do some playing, because tomorrow's when I'll cut that episode. It's a good thing I decided on it, since I have to make it tomorrow, right? Anyway, that is a thumbnail ready, as I said, almost ready to go. Let's talk about stats. So, you know that I would like to be, on average, right in the middle of my little chart, 10,000 views and 50 subscribers average over the last 7 days. Views up. A lot of good stuff going on. 11.5 thousand views average over the last 7 days, despite a crummy day before yesterday. Yesterday was awesome. That helped offset it quite a bit. Subs up a little from the other day, 32.5 average over the last 7 days. Still shy of our 50. We haven't been there in a while. I'm optimistic, though. No new milestone, but we're about halfway to 49.9. We'll probably, certainly by Friday, I think we'll talk about 40. Wow, by Friday we should be 49.9 based on our current trajectory. That means by Monday or by next week sometime, we'll probably hit 50. Oh my. If I'm going to have any celebratory graphics for social, I better get on that. I guess it just occurred to me how quickly that's coming up. Let's talk about today then. So today, I'm going to start working on the second entry in my series on the ColecoVision restoration. You'll remember, or if you don't, I guess, that's footage that I shot almost a year ago and never got around to using, and now I'm taking segments of it and making it a small series. The first one did very well. Prepping for the next one to get it ready. To do that now, since I shot this stuff so long ago, what I have to do is review footage, go through some video clips that are some 20-30 minutes long of me doing work to find out what are the story beats. John's going to do this, and then a discussion about this and whatever. Then write a little script. And so probably if I start working on that today. That'll be something I can get out by early next week, I think. So I'll get to work on that today. This afternoon, we have a meeting with a corporate partner, not an advertiser or anything yet, but someone we're working with, going to a convention later this year to collaborate with, and also talk about a forthcoming video to highlight some features of their product. Then finally, this evening, 7 o'clock, live on YouTube and Facebook with 1980s Now. Myself, Will, and Kat will be there. And if you have not seen that show, it's a very different style of show. I love doing it because not only do I adore Will and Kat, my friends, but it's a very different environment for me because I'm not responsible for that show. I'm just there as color commentary, and it's a very relaxing show to be on for me. And I've had people tell me that I seem like a very different person there, and I'm sure it's because, I'm just very off the cuff there rather than kind of more regimented and structured as I am in my own content. So I think that's healthy for me, really, to have that outlet, and it comes across, I think, as a lot of fun. So stop in and check that out if you haven't. Before I go, I just want to mention I've noticed over the last week or so that we talked about this more than a year ago about how my personal validation, my mood is affected by the success of recent videos. If the last several videos did poorly, then I find myself feeling depressed about this entire project and, in fact, my own self. And if the last few are doing well, then I feel my mood elevated and I feel really good about myself and the trajectory of this thing. So as such, the last few videos have done quite well. I'm seeing a little bit of reach. I'm seeing other creators talking about the stuff that I'm doing, which means that I'm being heard and being seen as a source and whatever. And it's all very surreal, but it's also it's a double-edged sword, right? It's nice that successful bits of content can yield good feelings, but also it means I'm susceptible to feeling bad again just because a couple things don't do well. And I have, in the past said, I got to get over that. I don't know if I ever can or will get over that, really. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there is a point at which the volume of work becomes such that even a couple of dips don't impact me, but I think it has to do with my own feeling of ownership and investment in the work that I'm doing, and feeling attached to it and being personal about it, because it's not just what's the next video I can throw out. Like, I want to do things that I feel something about, so I have that personal attachment. But also, I think it also has to do with just my mentality. When I had a real job, even though the things I was working on didn't belong to me, when they're doing well, I felt well. When they're doing poorly, I felt poorly. And I think it's probably just I'm coming to realize that it's likely how I think about work, how I think about the things that I do. It might be a stretch. This is kind of loaded language to say I take it personally. That's not exactly true, but definitely I see the performance of my work as a reflection on me. Maybe more so than people that are able to detach themselves from their work a little better. So the upside is that right now I feel pretty good and optimistic about the path we're taking. Some people would say we've plateaued. I would say that our plateau is an upward slope. We just would like it to be a little steeper. We certainly aren't sitting still. We're driving forward and growing, as evidenced by coming up on 50,000. Yeah, I generally feel right now pretty good. Now, give me a couple weeks, we'll see, something goes in the crapper and we'll be like, boo-hoo, I don't know. Anyway, I haven't talked about that in a while, and I thought it was good to touch on that and mention how I've kind of come to terms almost with those feelings rather than trying to dismiss them. I think that's just how I feel. That's just how I am. So, it's, your mileage may vary. You create stuff, maybe you can let me know. Do you have a similar feeling about the content you create, whether it be video, whether it just be if you're a chef, the food you cook, or the code you write, whatever it is that you do. What's your relationship to that work that you produced once you're done with that work? So, yeah. that's enough rambling for me. I'm going to get after it today. Thank you, of course, for popping in to check out today's vlog. If you did, if you're here every day, you know that I love you for that. Thank you for your stick-to-itiveness. Remember to have a great Wednesday and do something good for yourself. And I'll talk to you again next day. Bye-bye.